Hi, Dr. T. Hi, Professor Mulligan. I am presenting on Wolf Parkinson White today, and I really leaned into the being creative for this assignment. And so I created an interactive video game. Unfortunately, I can't submit that interactive video game and then also give a presentation. So I'm just going to run through the video game on all of our behalfs, and that way we can learn about Wolf Parkinson White together in a fun way today. Let's get started.
I hope you guys like the Game of Thrones, because today we are in the heart, get it, the heart of Westeros. This is a choose-your-own-adventure game of Wolf Parkinson White syndrome. So, setting. You are a Maester Guardian of the Citadel. A young knight has collapsed at the castle of Winterfell, and his fate is in your hands. Let's start the quest. Okay, the young knight lies on the stone floor, pale as a White Walker. His heart races like a direwolf fleeing from the Night King. Time is of the essence, Maester. So here's our patient, Sir John of House Greyjoy, 24 years old. He's a knight of the Queen's Guard, and he's collapsed during training. He has had these episodes of racing heart since he was about 16. His heart rate was 188 beats per minute, his blood pressure is 92/60, and his SpO2 is 96. So, what do we want to do? Do we want to get an ECG, or do we want to question the witnesses? I'm feeling like we need to get some more background information, so let's question the witnesses. His squire. His heart pounds wildly for minutes and then stops suddenly like a raven taking flight. It has happened thrice this moon turn. The healer. He nearly fainted twice before. Once during the Battle of the Bastards and once while feasting. No warning. And then Sir John himself. My chest. I feel my chest flutter. And then darkness. Maester, am I cursed? And so his key symptoms are palpitations, syncope, sudden onset. He is young, and this is recurrent for him. So what do we think? Ooh, this is a little bit suspect, so I would really like to get an EKG now. Ooh, interesting. So our EKG is a little bit abnormal. We can see this delta wave here, which is kind of this widening at the bottom. The QRX complex is also widened. Oh, let me go back. And then there's also a shortened PR interval. So these are 3 clear signs of Wolf Parkinson White. So this is an unmistakable EKG for Wolf Parkinson White. So I think this is Wolf Parkinson White. So let's go down this avenue. Yes, so we identified he has WPW syndrome. This is a congenital accessory pathway, and this pathway, this extra accessory pathway, is called the bundle of Kent. So typically we start in the SA node here, and the electricity goes to the AV node, and then there's depolarization through the ventricles, which makes the heart contract. However, in WPW, there's this accessory bundle of Kent, which essentially the SA node can travel, the electricity can travel through here, and then depolarize the ventricles, not in unison with the regular physiology. So we can think of the AV node as the wall, the big ice wall that keeps out the White Walkers in the north. And this wall has been breached. So the bundle of Kent is the wall has been breached by the White Walkers. This is what we found on the ECG findings, which makes the short PR interval, that delta wave I mentioned, and a widened QRS complex. So the mechanism is there's a reentry circuit, which can lead to arrhythmia. So like I said, there is this out of whack, out of balance in contraction of those ventricles because this accessory electrical pathway. There's danger here, such as AFib, rapid conduction, VFib, death, and that is kind of why we were seeing him maybe have a syncope episode with super high heart rate of 188 earlier that we mentioned. So, well-reasoned, Maester. The bundle of Kent, a secret passage beneath the wall. Now comes the critical choice. How do we seal the breach? How do we treat Wolf Parkinson White? The golden standard is going to be catheter ablation. So let's go click here. Yes, our knight lives. We ordered catheter ablation, and the electrophysicist physiologist mapped and burned the bundle of Kent permanently shut. We can think of this like Daenerys coming along with her dragon fire along the wall and sealing in that accessory pathway. The cure rate for these ablations is about 95% because we're getting rid of this accessory pathway. Now, before we get to the Maester's final scroll, let's play this game again and see what happens if we did not make these same choices. So let's go back. Our Sir John of House Greyjoy is having these palpitations. We question the witnesses, and it seems a little suspect, but, being a knight is pretty stressful. So we think as a new PA student, maybe it's just anxiety. So we're going to send him home. Oops, not the right call because we dismissed his symptoms as anxiety. 3 days later, he collapsed in a tournament, and this time he did not wake. So Wolff Parkinson White can strike without warning, and it typically strikes younger patients with unexplained palpitations and syncope. So if you have a young patient, you must investigate for this possible accessory pathway. So our key lesson here is that in WPW may present only with vague palpitations for years before the fatal arrhythmia. Do not diminish young patients' episodic racing heart with syncope. All right, let's try again. All right, so we're back to the thing. For homepage, John lies on the stone floor, and we want to get that ECG again. So we're looking at the ECG, but once again, what if we're like me, newer in PA school, and we haven't gone over our ECGs yet, and this looks normal to you? Maybe we just think it's an elevated STV. So we're going to give him verapamil to maybe bring down his heart rate. Nope, not the call. Verapamil was administered, and verapamil blocks the AV node. And this can be fatal in WPW because all those electrical forces going through the bundle of Kent can still conduct to the ventricles, and now this is the only pathway for the electricity to go, and it's unregulated. So your heart rate can get up to 300 beats per minute, and this can be fatal. So ventricular fibrillation followed, and the Night King now claimed another soul. So in WPW, never give digitoxin, verapamil, or adenosine, these AV node blockers, because they can cause AFib and VFib and sudden death. All right, one more time. Let's start over and see what our other options are. So we're back to the main page. We have Sir John of House Greyjoy. We want to get the ECG. We look at the ECG. This time, okay, yep, we think it's Wolff Parkinson White. So we click through here. I have identified Wolff Parkinson, but how do we decide to treat him? Well, we are not far enough in PA school yet, so instead of selecting catheter ablation, we decide we want to give him verapamil. And as hint, we just mentioned, not the best choice, but let's click it anyways. And again, the night has passed away. So once again, verapamil is not indicated for folks with a history of Wolff Parkinson White, as it can increase the heart rate to 300 beats per minute. And again, the Night King has claimed another soul. So let's go back from the start, and we'll just quickly run through the correct processes here. So we want to question the witness, get some more history. We want to do an ECG. The ECG is suspicious for Wolff Parkinson White. Congratulations, we identified and have made this diagnosis, and we're doing the correct treatment plan now, which is going to be catheter ablation. And once again, yay, catheter ablation will save this knight, and he can continue to fight for Queen Sansa. And just as a final wrap up, the Maester's final scroll are quick references here. In the ECG, we have this triad, that short PR interval, the delta wave, the wide QRX complex, that is indicated of Wolff Parkinson White syndrome. The mechanism is this extra accessory bundle of Kent that bypasses this AV node, and then we get this re-entry of electricity and these contractions of the ventricles when we're not supposed to. Danger. AFib, VFib, sudden death, especially if you give AV blockers. Don't give AV blockers. Treatment, we mentioned catheter ablation, but you can also give, if you do want to give a type of medicine, you can give flecainide or profenone, however you say that. It won't block the AV node. So, final takeaway, never give digitoxin, verapamil, adenosine. It will worsen his condition. All right, that is the game, and I'll leave you with this.
There you have it, your interactive video game. Hope you guys enjoyed.